Alex here with another product review. This time we're taking a look at this little fella, which is the FitDVR Dashcam Power Adapter, which promises to make dashcam installation a lot easier. Now, if you have looked at dashcams, you may have found out that if you are looking to hardwire the dashcam, now we're gonna have to run cables along the frame of the car, potentially run into the airbag that's located in the A-pillar of the vehicle, then run the cables all the way to the fuse box, then find a spot in the fuse box that works for the hardwire, and so on and so on. Now, what they have done with this little guy is this allows us to pull power from a place that it's a lot easier to get to, which is the rear view mirror of the car, which happens to be located right in the center, so it is in an ideal position where it can potentially simplify the dashcam installation. And on this video, I'm gonna show you how it works, as well as the installation process, but more importantly, I'm gonna test it out as far as powering different dashcams. That way you can decide if this power adapter is gonna make sense for you or not. And as always, I like to remind you that I place a link in the description down below to this product in case you wanna get one for yourself. And the kit includes the FitDVR Power Adapter, as well as the cable that connects it to the mirror for power, and also 4 different adapters for our dash cam, which includes the micro USB, mini USB, USB-C, but also this guy right here, which is a 12-volt DC cable. Now this is big right here, because now we can use this adapter to also power 12-volt devices like radar detectors that use this style of plug. And also we get this installation tool. Now I'm gonna move this mirror out of the way just so you can see what this looks like. Most of the time this is gonna be a 2-part deal. Here is one part and here is the second part. And normally what I do, I can just pull on this, and now that separates the whole thing, and then I can pull the top of this right off, and then the enclosure can come off. I could also technically just grab the top and remove this part, and then I can slide this off to remove it. Now notice that this is the power connector that I'm after. Now all it does, it has a little latch on there, and if I push on that latch, I can unplug it, and now it's ready for the power adapter. Now I can connect the power adapter. First, this is gonna go into here like so until it clicks, and the other side of this harness is gonna go back to this place where I originally pulled this gray connector from. Same thing, I'm just gonna align it on here and then push in there until it fully locks and sits in place. And notice now that there's only one connector left, and that is for the FitDVR power adapter. I'm gonna line these guys up, push them in until they click in place. Now I can realign this cover just like how it was before. I'm gonna slide it up until it locks in place. Now I'm gonna tuck away some of the excess cable into the enclosure, and then I can reinstall that top piece. And also notice that on the back there is double-sided tape. That way we can stick it anywhere we want, ideally close to the dash cam. And this is what my setup looks like. I have the DVR mounted right here and my dash cam mounted right here, and you can see that the dash cam is running. And this whole setup actually looks quite stealthy and quite clean as far as installation. Also notice the display on that FitDVR adapter. I'm gonna get close right here. It shows us 5 volts, which is the power that's going to the dashcam. Most dashcams use 5 volts. And it's also showing me how much power it's using, 0.35 amps. And also this display is not bright enough, I think, where it will bother you at night. So I'm probably gonna run my setup like this. But if for some reason you did not wanna see the display, this could potentially be placed lower. Or in my case, I can probably move the mirror up like that, and now it partially blocks that, almost fully conceals that. There you go, in case I wanted to hide that display from view. But I also want to test out the adapter with a dashcam that has a higher power requirement. This happens to be a triple channel dashcam, so it requires more power than the previous one I showed you. Now notice that when I turn the car on, the adapter comes on and the dashcam comes on, and it's working good. Also notice that the adapter is showing us again the updated numbers. Is running 5 volts, which is the normal voltage we see on dashcams, and running a little bit more power requirement than the previous dashcam I showed you. But now let's move over to a bigger dashcam, the mirror dashcam. And this is what I'm really excited about, powering a mirror dashcam with this style of adapter. And as you can see, it works. And that is because this adapter does have enough power for a mirror dash cam. In fact, this is the only adapter currently in the market that has that ability. And you can see up there the updated numbers, 5 volts, 1 amp. Again, because this is a larger dash cam that has a larger requirement than the prior dash cams I showed you earlier. But now let's move over to test out the 12-volt output for those that have 12-volt dash cams or something like a radar detector that runs on 12 volts. And this is my Cobra RAD700i radar detector. I'm gonna turn the car on, and I connected the radar to my adapter using that 12-volt DC plug, and sure enough, it works. Again, this is the convenience of this adapter. We can place it either in the left or on the right. I could technically even have it come out from the bottom. It really just depends on what device I'm gonna use it with and how stealthy I wanna be about the installation. But this is tremendously easier than having to run cable all the way down to the fuse box for hard wiring, and also frees up my cigarette lighter adapter plug. So I think this is gonna be a good solution for anybody who's looking to avoid the complexity of a hardwire installation. I do like the display on it, and I particularly like that they included those different adapters. That way we can use this with potentially different dash cams, because you may have a dash cam right now, but maybe you swap it out for something else in the future that has a different connector. That way we don't have to buy this whole thing again. We can just swap that adapter out. Now it is important to point out that this little guy does not enable through parking mode on a dash cam, and that is because the hardwired kits normally tell a dash cam when the car is on or off, and that allows the dash cam to enter or enable parking mode. This little guy does not have that ability. All it knows is I get power, I don't have power. So basically the dashcam turns on when the car turns on and turns off when the car turns off. Now it is potentially possible that your mirror may have power all the time. And if it does have power all the time, even when the car is off, then this could potentially be used for parking monitoring, because now the dashcam can stay on when the car is off. And then you can select how you want to have that dashcam function. And perhaps if it supports time-lapse, you can turn on that time-lapse function, or if it supports motion detection, you could enable motion detection, or you could also just choose to turn off the dashcam if you don't need parking monitoring. However, I really think this little guy is going to appeal to a lot of people who don't need to have parking monitoring, especially if your car is already garage. This can potentially simplify that installation process and power all kinds of devices, as we saw, dash cams, but also 12-volt devices as well. So remember, I put a link in the description down below to this adapter in case you want to get one for yourself. And if you guys have any other questions regarding this, please put that in the comments down below. If you found any part of this video helpful, make sure you hit the like button to support the channel, and stay tuned as I have a lot more dashcam reviews coming up. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.